Hello, welcome to this lesson dedicated to the harmony. Harmony applied to the electronic music in the sense of harmonic progressions, scales, bass lines, and all the melodic and harmonic stuff related to the composition of these styles. I have here the Ableton with a simple drum groove like this. And then I want, for example, to create something on the top of it. I mean, I have an electronic piano there. So, just for the explication, I will play the chords of the C major scales. One chord per bar, like this. Now we have the harmonization of the C major scale. I mean, what I did, I created triads on the top of the C major scale. The C major scale is only the scale of the white keys on the keyboard. I mean C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C, all natural keys. So creating triads, I have on the scale the fifth chord, that is the C major, C, E, G, the D minor, the E minor, the F major, G major, A minor, B diminished chord, and C major again. These are the chords related to the C major scale in triads. So with this chords I have a lot of harmonic power choosing this. For example, I can alternate chords, major chords and minor chords, just to create I don't know, different kind of effects. You know, major chords are considered more open, the minor chords more sad, and so you have a different perception about the harmony using this chord. For example, why I have to create basically a good harmonic progression? Well, because I need to create the atmosphere of the piece. Normally we have the track divided into groove and rhythm, created by the drums part and the bass lines. Then the harmony, that is the atmosphere, with the chords, which sound like pads or something like that, piano, and the melody, or the melodies, vocals, soloist instruments, and this is the skeleton of a composition. So, starting with harmony, and starting with this simple key of C major, I can choose, for example, one typical progression, like this. This is a quite classical chord progression, standards. Yeah, it works quite well in style of pop and rock music. Techno music has other kind of progression that we will see later. And what I wanna say is that I use the F major chord, F, A, C, and F, in inversion. Inversion, it means I don't play F in the fundamental position like this, fundamental, third, and fifth, but I can redistribute the the notes inside the chords. For example, I can repeat the F there, so I get other voicings. The disposition of notes in harmony is called voicing. So this is our simple progression. So let's quantize this. So the sound is quite standard because I use a major chord, a minor chord, again the F major, the root chord, the C major, the fifth G major, and F major. So I used the chords inside the scale of C because the work and the sound is quite classical, quite modern. Let's create a symbol loop of this. Yeah. A lot of people ask me why, so is correct to quantize the notes all the time, or where is correct to do it? Well, so I can quantize easily these notes in Ableton like this, but depending on the style, maybe you want to preserve the human touch and the humanity inside your composition. So normally I quantize at the end of the composition, because normally I want to listen how it feels. Yes, the groove. Normally I quantize the groove firstly, the drums. I mean, like in this case, this is a simple quantized loop from Ableton, but you can create your by your own. Then why and how I can consider chords inside a key. I mean, why I choose C instead of E, instead of G, instead of A. I mean, we have three groups of chords inside the key. I mean, the tonic chords like C major, the root, of course, the fifth grade, the E minor, and the A minor. Why? Because they have two common notes. For example, C, E, and G is the C major, and then E, G, and B is the E minor. So these two notes in common creates a sort of friendship between these chords. So the sound is quite similar. Of course, one is major and another is minor, but the color could be really similar because they are two notes in common of three. Same with the A minor. I mean, E, C, and A. So these C and A are in common with the root chords, with the C major. And I mean, this is the first group called tonic group or root group. So the group has many names. This group is made of stable chords with a great strength in terms of giving color to the composition inside a key. I mean, if you use C major, E minor, and A minor, you are focus a lot yourself in the C major key. Then D, F, and A is for the same concept, similar to F, A, and C, and to the the B diminished chord. I mean, this is half dissonant chord, semi-dissonant or semi-consonant, that is the same. I mean, these chords, D minor, F major, and this B, are not stable, but so not unstable. I mean, creates a sort of movement inside the composition. Then we have the dominant group, that is the fifth grade. The fifth grade is the dominant because this is the one of the most important chord of the key, because if you put the fifth and the first, you will listen to the perfect cadence. I mean, it's really classical, and in jazz it is modified like this. I mean, if you put this cadence, the fifth grade, the fifth grade and the first one, you will have a very strong sense of key of the C major. So 3 groups. So root with the first grade C major, the third grade E minor, and the sixth grade A minor. Then the half consonant or dissonant chords, the second grade D minor, the fourth grade F major, and the seventh B diminished, and the dominant, the fifth, so G major. I mean, you can consider also this B diminished chord like a dominant chord, because these B and D are in common between these two chords, the G major and the B diminished chord. So this could be used also as a fifth grade to create dissonance and resolution. I mean, B diminished chord and C major is quite similar to G and C. Again. You know. So, and I can combine these chords by myself, creating this kind of progression. It's quite classical. Now, go inside techno and hip hop music and modern music. A lot of progression are made only by 2 chords. For example, let's create a progression with F major and E minor, only with these chords. Let's add some groove. Yes, this groove is quite academical. I mean, all the chords in fundamental position with a bit of groove. So let's quantize this in this case, just to because the demo, and because I don't play it in the proper way, rhythmically. Now, this is a typical progression of techno and electronic music. A major chord and another minor chord in a semitone below the first one, F major and E minor. Then let's create some groove. Let's play it with the MIDI keyboard and add some vibe. Do you know what I mean? With inversions and with other position of the chords, but all the time F major and E minor. Let's go. This progression is really powerful if you add some arpeggios, some notes belong to the chords, but in a melodic sense, if you add a groove in the chords, you know. Let's listen again. Trick in the harmonic progression is adding some effects like ambient effects like delay or reverb. For example, the Ableton, I have a lot of delay, but let's use the echo. It's really important to give a space effect in the delay. I mean, in this case I will use the ping pong because the feedback will create a sort of panning effect between the hits you have. So left, right, left, right, left, right, like this. To create the effects of delay, regulating well the dry and wet, and then regulate also the speed. I mean, if you go on time or not with the metronome, and in this case we have an octave tempo, dun, 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 related to the 120, of course, of the metronome. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, of course, this progression is not quantized, but normally I quantize the notes manually when I really need the sense of rhythm. For example, if I play this out of tempo, I can normalize, yes, and quantize it manually. It's quite long, but the effects, I mean, the process to quantize it manually is quite long, but the effects is much more better than the automatic quantization. For example, this more time. Yes, a lot of course are quite anticipated. Yeah, like this. And go on. Yeah, this is for me is quite good. Yeah, let's listen again for the last time. Idea of groove. The groove of two chords, F major and E minor, works really well because when I have to add the bass lines, I could be I can be really creative adding some stuff. For example, yeah, let's maintain the the base of the electric piano. Let's quit the echo. This could be a great bass line. I play and I show you in the MIDI tracks, of course. Let's go. Yeah, it's enough to play one, because the bass line for me is good if it's quite standard. I mean, pan ti guidi tan ti taru. I played again this without echo for the moment, just to understand it. Let's go. The bass line is this, like. I can repeat also the F there. The notes are this. Let's quantize this with the drums, really important. So not quantize with the grid, but with drums. Now the drums is in grid, so let's open the two MIDI tracks of Ableton and listen to the... Yes, this is in late, for example. Yes. Let's put on the grid. Yeah. We can duplicate also this because it's the same. Yeah, the feeling is this, like. The quantization could be better by just to explain the movement. Let's equalize to be yeah. Now we have the groove, I mean the drums and the bass line that works quite well, only with two chords, and then listen to the harmonic progression. I mean, this will sound quite not straight, but we have to quantize also the groove with the harmony. Listen. Yeah, in this case, for example, I played the E anticipated compared to the harmony I created, you know. So I have to create a sort of complete and organic harmonic part with bass that is also related with the groove and chords. So let's go. I can choose I can extend the bass and the chords, but you know, the bass is connected with the drums, so it's better moving the harmony. Yeah. This F is not necessary. Listen to conflicts because you have this muddy sensation, because I'm using the bass. I know the electric piano has the bass sound, so let's change this sound to another one. So let's look to other instruments. That could be a bass, for example this. Video game feel, no? Let's activate the echo. Of course, if the harmony is so invasive, we can duplicate that. I mean, this is the colored harmony. I want to create a simpler one, just to have more space then for the melody and for the vocals or what you want. So I preserve this one there, but I create another one. And let's play again with the metronome. More simpler. With the right octave, sorry, I had the transposition on. Again. Comparing these two melodies, these two harmonies, the first one is more complicated and the second one is easier. I mean, the groove is not so full. Let's quantize this a bit too. an example. And the other one, more complicated. Because, so you know, it's very articulated. You have a lot of notes, and so the amount of delay could be less because you have stuff on the air. Then let's go with the melodies. For example, let's use a synthesizer, a lead synthesizer, like this. The Prophet by Arturia. The sound is like and how to create an effective melody. Well, we are using harmonically chords inside the scale of C major, so basically we can use all the white keys, C, D, F, G, A, B, and C, and better if we use notes that belongs to the chords. I mean F major, E minor, F, A, C, and E, G, and B. Basically all the notes of the C major chords. But you know, F, A, and C are better when they stay in F major chords, and E, G, and B in E minor. This is normal because we are playing the arpeggio of the chords, you know. So let's create a melody, for example, improvising something. Now we are using the articulated harmony, so let's come back to the easiest one and let's listen to it. Works, but I think I can do a better job. So let's preserve this, change the melody, and make another improvisation. For example, I am more convenient than this second version. So let's change the range. Let's create an octave. So let's move the melody an octave above. quantize with the harmony and the bass, this harmony. Like this, like this. Let's change the color just to be more clear. Then, yes. Of course. Yeah, the melody is the violet. So. This is a conflict with this, the chord like. We have another effect. So the red block will stay with the violet one. This also is anticipated. So I can erase notes, maybe. This is anticipated to ti-do-da. Yes. This is the same with the For example, this could be a solo. Then, now, of course, we can refine more these parts, but let's try to change for example, the instruments. And let's go with an acoustic piano. Or felt, maybe. And let's listen to it. I think I prefer the electric one. So let's come back to the Mark 1. Then we can create a, I know, so a more complex structure and more refined items. I mean, we can create other melodies, other bass grooves. But for example, I can create a simple song combining this. And remember that we started from the C major. Playing two chords, F major and E minor inside the C major scale. So if you can use and you know the harmony, you can create a lot of interesting things only with two elements. For example, duplicate this, create a sort of scale structure. I will use this melody because maybe I can use it later. Then let's create a simple intro with the groove, then with the bass. And then add the harmony, the complex one, just to try. I know it works. Let's try. Maybe from there. Yes. So, an example of a song, and let's save it. Just trial 1. Then what about if I change the sound? For example, I use now these two harmonies, the complex one and the chill one. So let's try again to change the sound like a pad. Pads are the long sound that are really good for atmospheres. Like, I don't know. Like this without let's change the instrument like harkeys. Like this. Let's try. Maybe we can duplicate the piano harmony with the pad, like. The pad is not bad. Then we can replay the pad with large notes because, of course, because the nature of sounds, the rhythm in the pad doesn't work so much. I mean, in the pad, it's better playing large chords like this. You know, without this repetition, it's quite useless in pads. In pads, long notes are the key. Yes, like this. Just to avoid the uncomfortable sensation of empty spaces, you know. Of course, empty space and silences could be good in music, but in this case we need the continuous sound. quite simple, but at the same time uh, quite good piece created only with 2 chords. The secret of harmony is giving you the color and the atmosphere you want in your piece, in your tracks. Then we can add something. I mean, we are using only triads for now. Then we can add 7th, ninth, tensions, dissonance, passage chords, and the word of harmony is really, really, really rich. And for me, the secret of success is using in the best way possible the chords we have. I mean, start only with 1 chord or 2 chords maybe, and then use a lot of colors, a lot of variation, a lot of inversion, a lot of melody on the top of that chords. Many bass lines to create different sensation and an effective result. This is a really good trick to start. I mean, exploring in the deepest way possible the single chords and the single harmony or the single scales, starting from 2 or 3 or 1. Then add something, secondary dominant, tensions, and also the sound and the structure are really important in the harmony, because this kind of sound, of course, is really good for maintaining the long harmonies, but this one is better for lead parts, because it's nature, it's spectrum. And also bass line is strictly connected with the harmony. We are using simple notes. I mean, only the roots of the chords passing by the 5th, F, F, C, F, E, E, B, F. I mean, root, 5th, root. Then we change chords, root, 5th, root. So, giving a groove to this creates a really good effects. Let's listen into this piece. To show you final results of exploring a few chords in the best way possible. This is a song of mine called B-Drum. You can find it in Spotify, and let's go to listen to it. Like this. This was my first attempt to create something with less instruments and not too many VST, and the sounds and the results is quite good. Let's listen to it. The structure is quite clear. We have an intro, we have the drums part, a central part. The structure is like intro A, B, A. Let's listen to it. So this is, we have these three parts of the intro, the A, the center, the A again, just to end. And the structure is quite simple because the harmony is like four chords, only four. Then add the bass. Let's listen to the entire group. That is playing the notes of the chord, the notes of the chords. The center part is quite different because it's full of stuff. You know, the bass change. Also, the intro is interesting with parts with these only chords with a sort of dance of the notes. Same for chords. Second, fourth. This piece is in the key on C minor. Then, for example, this part is quite full of tensions in the. I put the tension like the 9th, the 11th on this part just to add colors because the 7th is included in the basic harmony. So listen only the harmony with pads. Atmosphere. So this is, harmony is very useful and to manage the instrument you have. I mean the harmonic progressions, the bass lines, and the lead parts, vocals and grooves. So managing that in the proper way gives to your piece a more refined flavor. So I hope this lesson is useful for you, and tell me for everything you want, and see you soon on the next lesson.